A winner, Microsoft. Earlier this week, Microsoft dethroned Apple, even if just for a minute, as the most valuable firm in the U.S., boasting a market capitalization north of $800 billion. To be fair, it's not that Microsoft passed Apple, but that Apple fell below Microsoft, shedding $250 billion in value as analysts wonder if we've reached peak iPhone. What explains Microsoft's success? Or more specifically, their staying power? Two things. First, diversity. Microsoft maintains a diverse revenue stream from software, hardware, and cloud services. Meanwhile, Alphabet and Facebook are mostly ad-dependent. Apple is a hardware firm, and Amazon relies mostly on product sales. Two, recurring revenue. Successful organizations have convinced customers to enter into a monogamous relationship via recurring revenue streams. Think Netflix, Spotify, and Amazon Prime. What Amazon Prime has done with the consumer market, Microsoft has done with the business market vis-a-vis their Office offering. It's much easier to plan a business against recurring revenue, and the market loves it. A loser, the Facebook Board of Directors. Our 2018 award for most spineless and damaging board of directors. What is the role of a board of directors? Care and duty, specifically serve as fiduciaries for stakeholders. That includes teens, that includes the Commonwealth, and of course, shareholders who have seen the value of their shares shed 1/3 of their value because of irresponsible, reckless, negligent behavior on the part of the CEO and the COO. So at the end of the day, what is a board supposed to do? They decide if and when the company gets sold and to hire and fire the CEO. What has the board done here? Nothing. What should they do? First, they should fire Sheryl Sandberg. The problem with a two-class shareholder structure, and the reason the SEC should revisit the concept of banning all two-class companies, or perhaps making it such that when a company punched through $100 billion in market cap, it reverts to one class of stock, is that it has a ripple effect of unintended consequences. And the unintended consequence here is that the COO that should have been fired a year ago is still here because, quite frankly, the board does not want to be the board that fires the woman in a sea of men in big tech. And that's a legitimate excuse. However, she has made $1 billion, and she will move on and do just fine. Everyday executives are fired for a fraction of the infractions of Ms. Sandberg and the Zuck. At the end of the day, the person ultimately responsible for all of this reckless behavior at this company is Mark Zuckerberg, and he should be removed from the CEO role. He should likely maintain his chairmanship. His DNA and programming genius is key to retention of the value of this firm. He deserves to stick around. He owns 16% of the company. However, he can be fired, and this is how. He could fight back. He controls 60% of the voting shares, so if he is removed from the CEO role, it is technically feasible that the next day he removes the entire board. What would actually happen? Play this out. The day after he is removed from the CEO role, he fires his entire board. That would be utter chaos, a 5-car alarm alerting legislators, shareholder rights lawsuits, and governments globally. We have to ask, would in fact the Zuck burn his castle to save it? The board should not be asking this. The board should be asking, what is the right thing to do? As Emiliano Zapata famously said, it is better to die on your feet than to live on your knees. It is time for the board of directors at Facebook to stand on their feet. We'll see you next week.